Hello, my people, and my beautiful and handsome viewers. Welcome to my page, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and for those people who have already sleeping, good night. I greet you at your location time. So you are welcome to the platform, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. So we are streaming on Facebook as well as YouTube and Twitter. So join us. For those people who have just the first time watching our program on YouTube, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV, on Facebook, Timo Starboy Channel Blogs, on Twitter, Timo Oladipupo 1, Timo Oladipupo 1. So you can join us in any of our platform. So you are welcome. You are welcome. So and I just want to tell you about this our platform. For those people maybe they might not know. We are enlightening ourselves. We are enlightening ourselves how to grow up in all our activities. How to to teach us what we don't know. What is darkness? To share the light. So that is what this our program basic on. That is what is our program is all about. So it's not about mocking people or of course if you see somebody that we need to abuse a little bit, in order for their head to straighten up, because if you never abuse some people, they will never get what the point you are making. They will never get the message you are passing to them. You need to just give them some engine, in their belly, so that they can sit right. They can sit right and reason with you. So, and just like a baby that if you never, maybe panking, maybe you never slap on the cheeks, or maybe on their face, so they will never get your point. So we need to slap them before their head is correct. All these our gullible, they call themselves leaders, but me I call them they are so gullible. I call them they are gullibles, and they don't know what is right. They don't know what is good for the country. This our our political people, our politicians. So we need to tell them their way. We need to show them their way. We don't need all these people because they are too old. They are too old to manage the country. The country is over 200 millions. Over 200 millions of people. So it's uncontrollable. So that is why we've been calling for split, disintegrating, to disintegrate the Nigeria, to disintegrate it, to just, pieces it. Let everybody have their own freedom. So that is why we are agitating. It's not seem that we don't know what we are talking about, or what we don't know. We know our point. And moreover, you see this petition. I want to talk about petition. This petition, this Atiku, Abubakar, and Peter Obi are filing. If need is not being done, if action is not being done, you are just wasting your time. You are just wasting your time. They say action is speaker than words. Action is speaker than words. Because this petition, believe me and you, it will be dead on arrival if they swear in this Asiwaju. If they swear in if Asiwaju is there, because he's going to elect his own people, his own crew, or his own criminal people. He's going to elect them as a justice, and everything is over with. There's nothing you can do about that. If you give this man a chance to be sworn in, to have that inauguration on that this May 29, that is over with your petition. That is over. It's dead as dodo. It's dead as dodo. As dodo, the dead, when he enter the oil, you know. So the petition is dead on arrival after they sworn in this Asiwaju. So notice that you need to take action. You need to take action from now. Don't let the criminal be a king. Don't let a thief man be a king. Don't let a armed robber be a king. Once he's a king, he will rule over you. Anything, you cannot do anything. There is no power. You will be powerless for that period of time, for that his own term, his own regime. You know, it will be a dictatorship. You know, it will dictate on everybody. It will select his own people, his own caucus, his own goons. He will put them there, and there is nothing you can do. There is no court you can take him. He will get his immunity. You know, he will get his immunity as a leader. It will be the chief of staff. It will be is going to be chairman for everything. So know what we are talking about. Know the point we are raising here. If we eventually allow this man to be inaugurating, if we eventually allow this man to be sworn in, that is the end. That is the end of the road for that your petition. Forget about it. It cannot work any longer unless you stop it right now. You tackle those judiciary, because it's a wrong judiciary. It's a wrong constitution. How can somebody be committing perjury and at the same time there is nobody to touch him? As this moment we are talking, there is nobody. Is untouchable. What kind of a juju is using? It's never be a president. He's committing crime and nobody can touch this man. Nobody on that so-called giant of Africa, Nigeria. Nobody can touch it. It's untouchable and it's a criminal. So what kind of money is using, or is using juju? Which kind of juju is using? To be invisible. You cannot touch him. He commit perjury. He lie on oath. And nobody, no prosecutor can prosecute this man. But if it is ordinary person, you will know how to scrutinize their life. You know how to rough their life. You know, if ordinary person, ordinary citizen, you will jail them. You put them in jail for small thing. But this man now is lying on oath. And you know, this is above 10 years in jail. The sentence, maximum 10 years. But nobody to prosecute this man. You know? So what kind of a country is that? And they are still saying it's inside the constitution. You cannot touch him. You cannot touch him inside the constitution. You have to wait for 180 days before you can. This is a laughable matter. This Nigerian law. Nigerian law is a laughable matter. There is no country can be on this kind of law. No country on this earth, I still boast with my words. No country can have this kind of constitution that will move forward. You can never move forward. You always backward. You will be awkward for life. You will be going back, not forward. You can never move forward, because if you have this kind of law in your own constitution, say that if somebody thief from you, they will wait until 180 before the judgment will come, and they will do the needful. Or somebody commit perjury. He committed perjury in an instant, and you cannot do anything to arrest this man, to put him in where he belongs, and to start his case. You are letting the armed robber to be loose free, to be walking free. But if it is somebody that has nothing, he's not a millionaire, he's not he doesn't have any post, you know, you can know how to go after them. So that is your constitution. That is your constitution in Nigeria. Giant of Africa. Giant of Africa. Is that how your giant is? to be robbing people with their freedom, to be slapping them all around anytime you want, any place, at any time, to be robbing them. Is that what your constitution is all about? There's no justice, and there's any country that have no justice, it will be a sin city. As I keep on repeating myself, it will be a sin city. Sinner will be multitude, because there's no law, nothing. You'll be killing each other, you'll be doing anything you want. There's no justice for that. And this is what we are talking about. Anything at all, you need to be recommended for something in this our human race. You need to respect each other. Give respect to each other. Let's love each other. Let's live in harmony and love and unity. Especially this our youth. You need to wake up. Don't let them rob you again, because all these people, they are armed robbers. All these people, they call themselves your leaders in politics. They are doing deadly politics. Do or die. Deadly politician. And we don't need all these things. It's affecting our life. It's affecting our life. So we don't need it. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. All these things need to be stopped. It's affecting our life. Sorry, Jerry. I'm testing something. So that is it for that petition. If you are serious about your petition, I mean this obedient people, just go after the thieves and do the needful, do the action. It's action required, not words, not you say you file this thing in court, because court, they will only wait to slow things down, to slow the process. The court will wait for the process to be slowed down, They will not do anything, because they too, they be mago people, they be thieves, So don't allow thieves to rule again. Buhari has done his own 8 years in roughly manner, in roughly way. So we cannot afford to have another rough leaders, ruffian leaders to be a president of Nigeria. We cannot afford that. We cannot afford to have a leader that is full of criminals, is full of dirty, is full of blood in his hand, to ruin us. That will be over our dead body. We cannot allow a notorious criminals that they are looking for all over the world, in America, in the UK, in everywhere, that is committed perjury. We can't allow that to happen again. We cannot open our eyes to accept all those criminalities behaviors. We cannot allow ourselves to open our eyes and let a bad thing to enter our eyes, a bad fly to enter our eyes. It can never be done. So that is why we are shouting, we are shouting loudly now, with our top of our voice, we are shouting out now. Do the action. Stop this thing. If you don't stop it, that is it. So let me play you the video that I came up with in this program, so we will know what we are talking about. Okay, Atiku petition. Okay, so it's a 9 minute 53 second. 9 minutes, 53 seconds. So let's hear it out. I want to play you 3 videos, so for you to understand what we are talking about here.
We resolved as follows.
No.
To ensure...
This is not the... I will play this one, but it's not the next one. This one is the next.
Let's begin with strengthening. The presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the just concluded elections, Atiku Abubakar, has responded to a preliminary objection opposing the petition he filed, challenging Bola Ahmed Tinubu as winner of the presidential election. Tinubu, in the preliminary objection, described the former vice president as a serial loser who has been consistently contesting and losing successive presidential elections in Nigeria since 1993. Atiku, in response, admitted that he has been contesting presidential elections since 1993, but has a drug-free record and has never had controversies surrounding his age, state of origin, gender, educational qualification, health status, working career, and citizenship, all issues bordering on the constitutional qualification to contest for the office of the President of Nigeria. Atiku further accused Tinubu of committing perjury by not disclosing to INEC his voluntary acquisition of the citizenship of the Republic of Guinea, in addition to his Nigerian citizenship. Atiku then gave notice to Tinubu in his petition to produce the original copies of his said 2 passports. Dr. Bate, I want to come to you on this story because I believe that you and Rufai interviewed Nigeria's former Attorney General of the Federation, Andaka, and he did mention that the issue of dual citizenship may not even come to the limelight because, as he knows, the petitions did not include the dual citizenship case. But now Atiku has responded to Tinubu's objection and has added that issue of citizenship. I'd like for you to just quickly respond to that.
Mr. Andaka SCM, who made the point very clear. One, it was not originally part of the petition. Okay, if there is the issue, the court will look at it. But as I've said, it's of no issue, it's of no moment. Sections 25 to 29 under Chapter 3 of the 1999 Constitution provides the details as to citizenship. And to the extent that the Nigerian Constitution further recognizes dual citizenship, then of course it will be difficult to prove that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not in Nigeria. The issue here is that if you are born in Nigeria, or if either of your 2 parents is born in Nigeria, then of course you can be president of Nigeria. The only condition whereby you cannot be president is if you acquired your citizenship by naturalization, or maybe if you had renounced your original citizenship. So I don't see how anybody will push the case that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a naturalized citizen of Nigeria seeking to be president.
Stupid constitution, stupid laws.
He was not born here, or either his parents was not born.
This is a stupid law I ever heard in my life. You have a 2 nationality, and you are contested for a country, a different country. 2 nationality, 2 passport, and you are contested, and they say in the EC form, that's the INEC form, if you have dual citizen, it's no go area. You are not qualified. You answer, no, I don't have it. And you have it. That is a lie. It's a perjury. And you cannot do anything about that. You cannot do anything to prosecute this man, to prosecute this matter. Very ugly law. Very ugly countries. Ugly country. Like Nigeria's zoo nation. Nigeria is a zoo country. There's no doubt about that.
Parents was not born here, or that he has renounced his citizenship. So that is the big issue there.
My main question for you, but since you are a lawyer, I think the bone of contention is the idea of the perjury and the fact that now that Atiku has brought it into his petition, I just want to know, to just give me an idea if that would even be looked at.
Yeah, on perjury, I've also also said, look, perjury is not something we pronounce into existence. It's only a court of law that can determine that. And perjury can be oral, it can be written, but you have to go to a court of law to go and prove it. And, I think under Section 117, it even says that you have to the court has to issue an arrest warrant for that person who has perjured. And with regard to Bola Tinubu, this same issue of perjury was brought up when he became governor of Lagos State in 1999. Okay? And that case, I think, was led by the inimitable Gani Fawehinmi. And he went to court, and the court ruled that that matter was already overtaken by events because at that time, Bola Tinubu had become governor. Under Section 308 of the 1999 Constitution, he is entitled to immunity. Sometime last year, some lawyers also went to Federal High Court Abuja talking about this same perjury. But that case, has not been determined up to now. The same president-elect has moved into Defense House. He's already preparing to be inaugurated on May 29. Once he is inaugurated on that May 29, we cannot bring the issue of perjury against him in his capacity as president of Nigeria. But of course, if you file a petition, we will expect also that there will be responses. And what the APC has done is to respond to the petitions. But the court will only look at the substance, of what your petition is, and then reach a decision on that. So for that, we will have to go back to the details in the petitions, in the notices of preliminary objection, and in the cross petitions that are before the court. The court is not going to waste its time or go on a voyage of discovery like Father Christmas over matters that are not concretely before it.
All right. In the meantime, the Labour Party and its presidential candidate, Peter Obi, have accused the Independent National Electoral Commission of showing bias in favor of the president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. INEC, through its lawyers, in a preliminary objection, has said that the relief sought by Peter Obi and his party challenging Tinubu's election victory are not grantable, and prayed the court to either dismiss or strike out the petition for being grossly incompetent, abusive, vague, nebulous, and more, while Peter Obi and his party, in a response to the petition filed on April 21st, faulted the electoral umpire for filing the preliminary objection and reprimanded the commission for not maintaining neutrality in the matter, further describing their action as an embarrassment. Well, the petitions are coming as the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima moved into the Defense House in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, on Wednesday, ahead of their inauguration in May. The Defense House is located in the Maitama district of Abuja. It will serve as a residence until Tinubu and Shettima take the oath of office on May 29th, after which they will move to the Aso Rock Villa.
Criminal.
To receive briefings and hold key meetings.
Criminal want to become president.
Men were accompanied to the Defense House by Senate President Ahmad Lawan, the Speaker of the House of Representatives,
the two criminals,
among others. Rufai, over to you.
So a couple of things are making the rounds. That's just a reflection of what is happening. Things are already going full throttle. Is moving into Defense House since he came back, getting ready for inauguration and all of that. All of that process is going. But there's also been a lot of discordant tunes as regards even the case going on and all of that in court. And Peter Obi did say, INEC didn't show neutrality, but the truth has to be told, INEC needs to defend itself in all of this, because INEC's role is to be able to defend the result it produced. But that will not take away from the conversation of the conduct of the election. But most of these things will be determined by the court. Did INEC break its own laws? That's the very first question we should ask. Did INEC say it was going to transmit and it didn't do the same? Because in all of this petition I've seen, the only counter action, one of the counter actions I've seen was a newspaper clipping that was said that 2 days to the election, INEC said it was not going to transmit electronically. But does that newspaper clipping negate the hitherto announcement and even the Chatham House conversation that INEC said it was going to transmit electronically? It is a court that will decide all of that. So what INEC is doing here, yes, what INEC might have said might be very vexatious on the part of Peter Obi, but INEC's role is to be able to defend its own self in this election. And it has put out an arsenal. They said it's going to spend over 3 billion thereabout to defend itself across tribunals all over the country. But another bone of contention, I think also with this subject of interpretation will be as regards what the Supreme Court will rule about it. The case of perjury and all of that. Anyway, that has not been added to the case. But people can stretch it a little further. A lot of people have even put forth some rebuttals that even in the case of Gani Fawemi, that there was a hiding under the fact that he was already governor. And that's the fact that there was immunity for him. But that has not been pressed further. Some people are also even talking about Section 137, subsection A, about, citizenship and all of that. But most of that has been cleared as regards cases that, the position of the law as regards. And I think we had that robust argument when we were even talking about the case of Omo Agege, when somebody was coming here to say Omo Agege held American citizenship and all of that. And we had to tell him that what the law's position is the fact on that is the fact that once you can have your Nigerian passport first, if you acquire any other passport, because constitution of Nigeria gives room for dual nationality, then you can still run for elective position in the office. So, I think the nominative clause there is that section 28, when you even read section 137, that's what it keeps coming back to. But most importantly, I think the substance of the matter will be the procedure in court. Did INEC say the things he was going to do, and also other calculation discrepancy that has been pointed out. And like it's been enunciated even with the case of Obiakpo, that Premium Time did an exclusive report to discover that the result that INEC said was not the result on the IRF portal in Obiakpo. But also, the court will be able to decide all of that.
Next video I'm gonna play is people of
to ensure
sorry, this one is IPAC warning Tinubu and his APC to avoid do or die politician, do or die politics. So that is it. They are warning them just to avoid this do or die politics they are practicing, that it can cause a lot of trouble. So let me play you the video, and you can hear from the man in the house.
That character as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, and entrench ethno-religious balancing. IPAC is of the strong opinion that the Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should be zoned to either the southeast or south-south geopolitical zones. This, of course, is without prejudice to the ongoing election petitions at the various election petition tribunals in the country. We believe the candidate that will emerge will address the necessary ethno-religious balancing in view of the fact that the ruling party, that's All Progressive Congress, APC, by the virtue of the faith and region and ethnicity of one, the national chairman of the party in person of Senator Abdullahi Adamu, the president-elect Bola Tinubu,
select,
the vice president-elect Alhaji Kashim Shettima,
select, president
and
select.
of course, judiciary, that is the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Olukayode Adewola, are all of the same faith. We believe that the suggestion of the IPAC will help to restore confidence of the people from the southeast and south-south geopolitical zones, and indeed all Nigerians, in the oneness of this country. Also, we have a precedence. In the example of Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's PDP government in 1999, when it deliberately zoned the Senate presidency to the southeast, the speaker to the northwest, the deputy speaker to the deputy Senate president to north central, the deputy speaker to south-south. And this ensured that every zone was accommodated in the power sharing equation, which helped to calm frayed nerves and peace throughout the 8 years administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo. IPAC calls on all relevant stakeholders to embark on deliberate actions that will help to reconcile, heal, and unite Nigeria. This, we believe, will eliminate the winner-takes-all syndrome and will further enhance ethno-religious inclusivity and will usher in a strong, virile, united, progressive, prosperous, equitable, and just democratic nation. IPAC was deeply concerned by the ethno-religious sentiments that characterized the 2023 general election, that is, nomination of presidential candidates and campaigns, which adversely polarized the nation and undermined issue-based campaigns that would have strengthened our frail electoral process. Nigerians witnessed the worst campaign since 1999, when democracy was restored in the country. Council is strongly determined to stop the dastardly do-or-die politics, garrison politics, ethno-religious profiling, and what has come to be known as stomach infrastructure, that is the use of money to cow people, which have impeded our hard-earned democracy and impoverished the masses who sold their votes for a mess of electoral porridge. IPAC demands more appointments of women and youth in government as the most vibrant democratic groups in the country. The continued marginalization of women and youth in the previous and incumbent government must stop forthwith. No nation makes progress without the active participation of women and youth. Their involvement in the 2023 general election was an eloquent testimony of their preparedness to serve the fatherland, and they should be given the opportunity to do so. Council urges all the key stakeholders to be proactive and run an inclusive government, as this is the only way to carry Nigerians along in the governance and provide the essential dividends of democracy. As the umbrella body of all registered political parties in Nigeria, IPAC will always be in the vanguard for sustainable democracy and good governance in Nigeria. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Another one. Okay.
Time for the press preview. First look at what's on the front pages of the papers, and it's customary with us, we start with our sister.
This video is you're about to watch. This video is about to watch is you see what they said. U.S. grant Nigerians permission to be protest against presidential poll. They grant permission for Nigerians to protest against all these bad politicians, or especially this inauguration, this thing. So let's listen a little bit about the topic.
Publication, this thing is paper, but on this front page, about Damu, the national chairman of APC, and APC leaders visit Tinubu, consider South for Senate President, Northwest for Speaker. some riders there. Other interests also pushing North Central for speakership. Another opposition party asked court to stop Tinubu's inauguration. 33 days to inauguration. US grants Nigerians permission to protest against presidential poll.
Yeah.
And WHO urges Nigeria to commit 80% health sector budget to PHC on the topmast. NBDC, US firm sold $15 billion deal for construction of mega rail line connecting the Niger Delta states. That's interesting. And then we have here, Nigeria spent $195 million to fight piracy in Gulf of Guinea in 2021.
All right, The Guardian this morning, leading headline, funds repatriation. Airfares hit new high as foreign airlines settle for 582 naira to the dollar. That's on page 6. More headlines now. Huriya tells Tinubu, you're replicating Buhari's distasteful foreign medical trips. Dark seems as TCM moves to disconnect defaulting discos and Gencos. Prosecutorial challenge, politics may set fleeing a Damola wreck free. On the front page of the Punch, the paper understands that evacuation of Nigerians from Sudan will begin today as the Nigerian government releases 150 million naira and hires 40 buses. It's also reporting that the federal government opposed night road trip and logistic hiccups delayed Tuesday's planned evacuation. The paper adds that 3 Nigerian embassy officers escaped death following attacks by Sudan Rapid Support Forces, one of the rival warring factions in Sudan. Well, the leading picture on the front page of the Punch this morning is that of a section of the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway in Ogun State on Tuesday. Indeed, it's flooded as the rains are pouring down. Other headlines on the front page of the Punch above the masthead this morning: National leadership, that's the National Assembly leadership, Tinubu, National Working Committee meet contestants, federal government, US firm sign MOU on $15 billion road project as Buhari, President-elect Tinubu, governors mourn renowned journalist Ednahoro, who died at the age of 88.
Let's look at the song. Lobbyists, mass leadership / ministerial post, lobbyists beseech Tinubu sleep in vehicles near Asoko home. APC chair Adamu meets the president-elect in the friend's house. Southeast governors Adebanjo Sultan Sakoto meet in ONU national unity. Ex-minister Fani Kayode backs Carlo Ojikano for Senate President Musa as his deputy. And UTME begins. Candidates' parents complain of system malfunction and technical glitches. We're having challenges evacuating stranded Nigerians in Sudan. AP's offers to early victims from Ethiopia. Justice in Nigeria slow, costly, says report.
Nigerian Tribune. The WHO warns of biological risk after Sudan fighters occupy lab. NAMA makes requisite payment to evacuate Nigerians to now commence evacuation today. Veteran journalist Peter Enahoro dies at 88. Mass presiding officers APC NWC meets today as Adamu and other aspirants meet Tinubu. That's the nameplate of Nigerian Tribune this morning. Disregard Apapa's letter seeking withdrawal of Obi's petitions against Tinubu, Labour Party tells Tribunal. On the front pages of the following newspaper, the Eye, we begin with the Eye, it says it understands British troops are prepared to use force if it proves necessary to protect the UK nationals. They will be evacuated. It's also adding that 120 troops have been deployed in the bid to rescue 4,000 people.
All right, Independent, William